On the immigration thing today, and then one other. And I'm asking actually the immigration ones in part on behalf of Spanish-speaking organizations that can't be here today. This intention to expel non-Mexicans back to Mexico. Right now they take about 10,000 under Title 42. But as far as we can tell, Mexico has yet to say publicly that they will continue to take non-Mexicans and that it might exceed the 10,000 or so they're currently taking. Has the U.S. secured a commitment yet from Mexico to take non-Mexicans, and is there any sense of how many they may be willing to take on either a weekly or monthly basis?
So more broadly on your question about the deportations in Mexico, we intend to continue this process with Mexico under Title 8. That is our intention, and that's how we're going to move forward. The question on how many, that is something that I would that is something that CBP is always planning for various different scenarios, and that is something that they do, and don't want to go beyond that. That's something that Department of Homeland Security is going to be dealing with specifically and directly.
So in plain English for the uninitiated who may be watching or listening, under Title 8 that means you can keep sending them back to Mexico, and that already agreement exists?
That's our intention. Those are the conversations. I'm not going to get into diplomatic conversations from here, but certainly, look, as I just stated, that's what we intend to do, but not going to get ahead. This is something the Department of State, that's diplomacy, right, as they deal with other countries, and Homeland Security as well in partnership.
These centers that are going to be set up in Guatemala and Colombia and then eventually elsewhere, they are not being set up at U.S. embassies or U.S. consulates, correct?
That part I would refer you to Department of
Our understanding,
State.
it looks like, is that they are not, and that it's some kind of third party who's setting it up. Already there are some concern that in essence the United States is outsourcing U.S. immigration decisions to either other countries or international organizations or the United Nations. Is that what's being done?
So what I can say, there will be open soon before May 11th. Any additional information that will come out of Department of State and Department of Homeland Security. That is something that lives with them, and they will share more of the details on that.
On just one other on 2024 mechanics, in the realm of the Hatch Act that I know we're very sensitive about around here.
I appreciate that.
We know that we now know that Julie Chavez Rodriguez, who's said to be the campaign manager, is still on the White House payroll, doesn't plan to leave until the week of May 15th. We also have learned that there are some senior West Wing officials who plan to, in essence, split their time officially with the campaign, in keeping with what previous administrations have done. Has there been an edict yet or some kind of memo sent out across the West Wing saying, if you're interested in doing that, if you're planning to do that, let us know, or any kind of distribution of a reminder of the rules or how that's going to work?
So first on Julie, I just want to say a couple of things here. She will not on board with the campaign until her federal services have concluded, and will continue to adhere to all legal and ethical obligations. So I want to make sure that is clear, and you are correct. Her last day here is going to be specifically May 16th, but again, not going to speak for the campaign. So I just want to be very clear about how she is going to move forward before she leaves, and we will follow all protocol and certainly follow the rule of law. And I think I mentioned this too. There will be some White House staffers, which is not unusual, which is the norm, as I think you were trying to state to me. But we just don't have a list of who they will be, who will be able to have the have the ability to split their time. I just don't have a list of who those folks are going to be at this time.